Cannabis, the risk of use disorder tends to be less compared to a lot of other available substances. For instance, opioids are much more likely to lead to a use disorder. Cannabis in adults, probably about 9%, the best study we have of people who use it will go on to have some sort of use disorder. Again, those are older numbers, and as I start talking about injecting this new sort of population, especially medical patients, that number might actually decrease over time, given the other data that we're looking at. So I think that there is that, and then also the overall potential risk. So opioids, for instance, the biggest risk of dependence. I mean, there are many risks, but it can lead to easily opioid overdose deaths. With cannabis, regardless of how much you use, you're never going to get some of that morbidity that's associated with these other substances.
Yes, it is not an opiate addiction where you're going to stop breathing if you overdose. That's definitely sure. But we are seeing some issues. I also don't subscribe to this idea that cannabis is perfectly safe and no one dies from an overdose. There's this very scary way that some people utilize THC. It's called dabbing. So these are solvent extracts that have very, very high concentrations of THC. They're put onto something metal and then lit, and you inhale the THC very rapidly through the lungs. And there is the chance of having a myocardial infarction or other damage to the heart with this way of taking it. Now, it's not the way that very many people use, but it does show any drug at a high enough dose can have negative effects on the body.